In 1990, a train in Japan started breaking windows without touching them. Not derailing, not crashing, just driving by. The bullet train drove through tunnels so fast, it pushed a wall of compressed air ahead of it, acting as a delayed sonic boom. Every time the train punched out the other end, it rattled houses. People living 200 meters from a tunnel exit filed serious noise complaints. Welcome to the subject, history. Today, we're looking at the Shinkansen, Japan's high-speed rail network, and the highly specific engineering headache it created. This acoustic problem threatened to degrade the network's entire reputation for being a flawless, quiet, and efficient transit system. The Shinkansen originally launched in 1964, timed to open right alongside the Tokyo Olympics. It proved Japanese engineering capabilities to a watching world. Most people assume the bullet train has always looked the way it does now, with that long beak-like nose stretching out front. It hasn't. The earliest models had short, rounded, almost bus-like fronts. They were built for practicality, without any serious consideration for aerodynamics. At the speeds those first trains ran, wind resistance was a minor concern. Speed itself was the selling point, and that formula worked fine for decades. The limits of that initial design became clear when Japan pushed blunt-nosed trains the length of a football field to nearly 170 miles an hour. When you look at the tracks of the Shinkansen, you see them often leading directly into restrictive mountain tunnels. A blunt train entering a tight tunnel acts as a massive piston, compressing the air in front of it. That compression creates a micro-pressure wave, and this wave races down the tunnel faster than the train itself. The compressed air has nowhere to go but out the other end, where it detonates outward into an audible, destructive boom. By the late 1980s, as the trains ran faster, this tunnel boom grew loud enough to violate legally enforced noise regulations. The Shinkansen's defining feature, its ever-increasing speed, had turned the blunt-nosed cars into acoustic weapons. The engineers at JR West initially tackled the problem through mathematical modeling, firing test shapes through pipes to see which produced the least pressure disturbance. The resulting data pointed toward a long, tapered parabolic shape, but nobody had quite nailed how to execute the exact real-world profile. The person running technical development for the rail network was an engineer named Eiji Nakatsu. Outside of the office, Nakatsu spent his weekends with binoculars. He was a dedicated member of Japan's Wild Bird Society. While the laboratory environment struggled to perfect the aerodynamics, a practical answer began taking shape entirely through patient nature observation. Nakatsu had spent hours watching kingfishers. They dive from open air straight into water, two mediums with wildly different densities. The physics question is how the bird hits the water at that speed and makes almost no disturbance. The mechanics are in the beak. It is long, wedge-shaped, and optimized specifically to slip between mediums instead of shoving through them. When Nakatsu's team mapped the geometry of the kingfisher's beak, they found it matched almost exactly what the wind tunnel math had already predicted. The physics of a bird piercing a dense body of water directly translated to shoving a solid train into a dense pocket of air. The team redesigned the entire front end. The 500 series Shinkansen featured a new nose stretching 50 feet out front, shaped unmistakably like a beak. When the 500 series entered commercial service in 1997, the acoustic boom dropped safely below the legal noise threshold. This chart shows the unexpected secondary benefits of the new aerodynamic shape. Air resistance fell by 30%, and energy use dropped by 15%. Because of that efficiency, the new shape generated a 10% increase in overall speed. If you liked digging into the story behind something this ordinary, hit subscribe. And I'm genuinely curious, if you've ever ridden a Shinkansen, did you notice the nose? Or did it look normal to you until right now? Let us know in the comments. Next time you watch a bullet train glide onto a platform, you're looking at a kingfisher. It is proof of how one engineer's weekend hobby quietly solved an industrial problem that could not be cracked with pure engineering alone.